Uh, 24 years ago, I presented on September the 11th, 1992, I presented to the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses a huge book called Letter to the Society, 12 of them, one for each member of the governing body, and 12 charts of the latest chronology that we worked out from the scriptures. We made an advance on the understandings of the Reverend John Aquila Brown and Charles Russell, which was that the Gentile times was a period of 2,520 years from Jerusalem losing its Jewish king and having to put up with a vassal king of a foreign power and pay tax and tribute to them, to basically when Jesus takes over. They understood Daniel 4, they took it from the Reverend John Aquila Brown, who got this first. The 7 times in Daniel chapter 4 was 2,520 years. 7 years of days is 2,520 days, 360 days to the BLC year, the biblical lunar calendar year, and then you take a day for a year. So they understood that Daniel chapter 4 was encoded in a format where 7 times meant 2,520 years. I, being a mathematician, took that and said, well, if it's true in Daniel 4, is it also true in Genesis 4, where you also find 7 times? And we found it was. And then, of course, the question is, well, is it only true of 7 times? What about if there's 10 times or 11 times, etc.? And so I managed to generalize this to an element of the Bible code and see that the Bible was written in a code. And that began our chronological decoding of the scriptures. And if you understand the Gentile times, you will see that it is not the only prophetic period God has managed to encode in his 66-book Bible, with 66 different biblical books. There's a hell of a lot more of them. So what we've done is we've worked on this for 25 years, and now, 25 years later, 24 years actually later from when I presented the first lot of charts, we've got more charts for the first time, and they are one hell of a lot better than what I produced in 1992. And so this video is to introduce everybody to these charts. Do have a look at them. They show at a glance the work we've been doing for 25 years in a way that we hope is assimilatable, and we hope it displays clearly the prophetic power of the Bible, because the Bible is a history book which contains no dates, effectively. It doesn't say when Jesus was born or when he was dying in an easy way to interpret. It doesn't say when David became king in an easy way to see. The information is there, but it's not easy to get out. So it's a history book with no dates in the literal meaning, but most of the dates, well, there are all the dates you'd ever want to know, including when Adam first slept with Eve and when the kingdom of God begins, both judicially and physically, and when Satan goes to hell. All of that, it's all in the scriptures, and we put it in our chart, and we now understand a lot of it. Not enough, but a lot. So these 3 charts, we'll give you the links in the video. There's one which has all the great prophetic timelines of all the times I was talking about, the 7 times, the 11 times, the 10 times, the 4 times. The other big understanding we've had recently is the 2 leases, the 2 6,000-year leases, so we have a timeline for them. And then we have a timeline for our latest terrorist prediction following 1 Kings 18 and Daniel 2 and 2 Kings 1 and the pillar of fire and cloud that the Jews followed around the wilderness. We've been doing the same thing, chasing a terrorist attack prediction. We've got a timeline for that, and it all fits beautifully in a way that it never fitted so well before. We have basically 2 prediction dates. One is 9/11/2016, and the other is the 7th of the 7th of the 7th of the 7th, the 7th day of the 7th month of the 7th regnal year of Jesus in the 7th millennium after Adam, and also the 7th day of the secular year as Tishri 7 2016 by the BLC, which is actually September the 13th this year, which is in about a week's time. So the video is to introduce these 3, and we'll put the links, to get to them you go to www.prophetic.com truebiblecode.com/download singular .html. Alright, that's www.truebiblecode.com/download.html, and we'll stick that underneath the video. Thank you.